What I'm about to say might offend you or give you a ton of anxiety and maybe keep you up at night, but it's the truth. And if I don't say it, then I'd be cheating you. Every single day, it is going to become harder and harder to be a Christian. And I don't mean just, oh, I know Jesus, I follow Jesus, and I have a Bible verse in my Instagram bio. No, a real Christian and is genuinely a follower of God, a man or woman after God's own heart. And take a look at the world around you. We've given up God and we've begun to worship ourselves. What is right and wrong? The line between the two has been so skewed because we've started to base it off of ourselves rather than God. And so that line has long been blurred. Everything that we base right and wrong, oh, this is my right and my wrong, and this is your right and your wrong, and it's not the same. And we have our own opinions and we have our own differences, and that should be celebrated. There's no such thing as your truth or my truth. There's only the truth. And so everything that you consider your truth or my truth is just an opinion. And if it's not the truth, it's a lie. And we live in a lie every single day. These new philosophies, I mean, look at the world. I don't even need to say, but every single day it is going to become harder. And I believe the hardest times of our lives are coming. Doesn't it even say that in Revelations? The hardest times of our lives are coming. And we have to prepare for it now because we're starting to see some signs, right? And you can imagine how hard it is to be a Christian and just run from sin and to resist your fleshly nature, not to look at women lustfully or not to, disobey your mother and father when you want to without that persecution. But when that persecution hits and there's oppression, whether by government or something else, I don't even know, but it's coming and you can feel it. When there's conflict between nations and people and there's just chaos ensuing all around you, if you're not strong and if you haven't built your house on the rock, you're gonna fall. I want to tell you a story about 3 boys my age. These 3 boys were really good friends. And now I want you to imagine you're just eating dinner with your family. And all of a sudden, the door barges open and a bunch of soldiers just walk in and they restrain your parents. They restrain everyone around you. You don't know what's going on. You thought you were just having a nice dinner tonight. They start to take you out of the house and they take you away. And you begin a long journey, miles and miles and miles in the dark of night. On the horizon, you see these tall buildings and these bright lights. And as they take you into the city, they tell you, forget everything you've ever known, believed, valued. Your old God, he's dead. Everything that you need is here. Forget everything. And we're going to give you a new name as well, so that you can forget your old identity. That old God you used to worship? Heck no, he's nothing in you. He's dead. You worship this golden statue of the king. And whenever music would play around town or in the cities, everyone would have to immediately drop what they were doing and just bow down, like literally fall on their faces and worship these 3 boys. Their names were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And every time the music would play, they would not bow down because they served him alone. And I want you to understand something about this kind of act of courage, if you will. Anyone who did not bow down to the golden statue immediately would be sent to a fiery furnace, burned alive. And these 3 boys, my age, I can't even imagine. People would tell the king, like, these 3 boys, they aren't bowing down every time. Like, they aren't worshiping you. They have some other God. They have something else that they're holding on to. They don't see you as their God. They found favor with the king. The king loved these boys. And when he learned that they wouldn't bow down, he was furious, to say the least. So he went to them. Next time the music played and he saw they didn't bow down, he went up to them. He was like, okay, guys, boys, I'm feeling merciful today, okay? I'm gonna give you one last chance to bow down to the statue. The 3 boys kind of looked at each other. They looked the king dead in the eyes and said, we will not bow down. And the king looked at them like, what? What do you mean you won't bow down? They said, we won't bow down. And there was no negotiation. You know, they could have easily made an excuse like, oh, we'll see the golden statue as God. So it's like, okay, we're actually worshiping God. Or we can just like half bow down. We're not really worshiping, right? God sees the heart and not the actions. There was no negotiation. They were not bowing down. The king looked at them like they were crazy. Like, what God of yours can save you from the hands of my fiery furnace, from whatever I can do to you? I am the king. I can do anything to you. I can take anything from you. What God can save you from my hands? And once again, they looked at him and said, our God can do all things, and he can save us from the fire. And this is my favorite part. Standing there, just courageous, while everyone around them is bowing down. And they said, even if he does not save us, we will still not bow down. I don't know if there'll come a day in our lives where we have to die for our faith. But if that time ever comes, then I want to be like them. And last night I had a dream where we were all lining up to get crucified. It was just a weird dream. And one by one I'd watch everyone die. And when the time came to be my turn, I ran. And I cowered. And I am a coward. But courage is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to act in spite of it. I'm not asking you to be a martyr and die, right? I'm just asking you, if it came down to that, how strong is your faith really? Who are you when those times will come? And where is your heart set? On the things of this world or on the things of the next world? Whether in our generation, or our children's generation, or our children's children's generation, it's coming. But even if he does not save us, we still won't bow down. We know he can, but even if he does not, no excuses. Get after it.